Every Sunday, Pat Sullivan from Sullivan Hardware and Garden gives us great advice for do-it-yourself home improvements. Today, he's talking all about concrete and how you can make repairs to your driveway and sidewalk.
Today, we take a little trip over to neighbor Ted's. Ted and I have been neighbors for 35 years. And one thing you always knew about Ted's sidewalk is keep your feet up, because his sidewalk had sunk and there was big trip areas where you'd trip and different things. So, well, 35 years later, we're all getting a little older in the neighborhood and we've become fallers. So Ted actually squeezed into his wallet and actually fixed the sidewalk. Now, if you look here, you'll see these little holes that have been filled. That's where he had actually what's called lifting, and they drill holes in the slab and then they pump a solution in there and actually float the slab up so that it's back to level again. You might say, well, why didn't Ted just replace the the whole sidewalk? Ted saved a little money. That's important to Ted. So if you just have one little spot, he had several spots, but really it did, and it really made a big difference for Ted. So no more lawsuits against Ted. But also, if you look at Ted's driveway, it's not great. I mean, he obviously, hasn't taken very good care of it. I love him to death, but I can only do so much for him. So, but you can maintain, because what you want to do with the cracks, what you're trying to do is to keep the water from getting in the winter. You don't want the water to get in there where it can freeze and expand, and then that's where the spalling comes from. Some concrete, concrete's going to crack. It just does. So no one's ever going to have a slab that's perfect, but trying to maintain that is probably a good idea. You can put sealer on it. In this case, there's different things you can use if you have big areas. Too many people get a hold of just that's called concrete mix or sand mix. Concrete has rocks in it, so you don't want any gravel when you're trying to do a very thin patch. So you'd want to use sand mix. But the problem with this stuff that everyone, because it's the least expensive, so it's what people grab, there's no adhesive in this. So if I mix this up with water and I kind of put it over the crack, more than likely in a few months, it'll just kind of crack out, come up like a pancake. So if you're doing a wide area like that and you want to get a big bag of sand mix, you can actually buy, it's like concrete glue. You mix it in there and that provides the bonder so that that new patch sticks to the old concrete. Now, if you just, for most of us where we have small amounts, you can actually buy something that this already has the bonder in it. So it's a nice smooth pour. You just mix it up with water. I don't know, I probably put too much in. So it's very easy. And then you mix that up into a paste, trowel it on over the area. If, like say you can do a wide down to a 1/16 of an inch. So, but for cracks, probably the easiest thing to do is just to get a regular concrete mortar patch, and then in a caulk tube, you can just drive it in there, go back through, smooth it out. It already has the adhesive in it. You'll keep the water out and it'll make that driveway last longer.